Hi, Truth Seekers. Dennis Nappy II here, and I want to take a minute and I want to talk about the design, the cover, the artwork for my book. It's a very important piece of artwork, and it really moved me when I got the chance to see it. And I got to give a big thank you to my cover artist, Aimee Wright. She is an incredibly gifted artist, and she had the ability, I always say, she captured in one image what I took over 55,000 words to try to explain. That's the beauty of art. You say a picture is worth 1,000 words. I say this picture is worth 55,000 words. Aimee is so gifted with what she did. I explained to her a rough premise of what the book was about and the idea that I had for it, and she really just nailed it. Obviously you'll see the graphic here, but even down to the colors that she chose for me. I wanted to show a man and his heart, because what I've learned in this book, the premise of this book, is that everything is driven through our heart. Our heart is our connection to this universe. It's our ability to gather information. It's that electromagnetic field that comes out of that heart. But it's also where we're vulnerable. We're being influenced through that electromagnetic field, from what I'm seeing in my research, by a parasite. And that parasite, much like a plant feeds off of the energy of the sun, this parasite feeds off the energy of our suffering. And by manipulating that electromagnetic field, it can cause shifts in our moods. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but I go into great detail in my book, just looking at nature and parasitism and mind control within nature and parasitism. How a parasite can get in and impact the brain of an organism and cause that organism to do things like commit suicide in order to continue the life cycle of the parasite. So it's not that far-fetched of an idea that behaviors can be manipulated through a variety of different means. It's a natural part of our world. And I go into that in the book as well. But I explained that to Aimee, and I told her what my book was about. And she drew this, I want to say beautiful, but it's a horribly scary monster, the Archon, the energy parasite, feeding on the heart. Now, in reality, it's not a physical thing, but this is a good graphic representation of it. And it's got those cold, dark, black eyes. And the colors that Aimee used are so brilliant. I'm so just in awe of it, because the colors on my book represent the colors of the human energy, the human chakra system. You have the book that's encased in red. Red is your lower energy chakra system. And that color red is your sexuality, your base, your survival. And that's a field that, the reason why that covers the entire book is because that is one of the fields that's easily manipulated, that drives us. It drives us in many ways and can be used to manipulate us. And then it's got, if you notice, the color green. The gentleman on the front who's holding that hood with his chest open is wearing the color green. The color green is symbolic of the heart chakra, and the heart energy is so important in this book that I wrote here. And underneath the robe is the color purple or indigo, and those are your higher level chakras, your higher connections to what might be above. It's a very spiritual color, it's a divine color, and Aimee was able to capture everything in that drawing. And I am so thankful to you, Aimee, for the wonderful job that you did on this cover. As I said, this cover, I think, once you read the story and then you go back and you look at the cover, you'll realize just how accurate it is. And on a little weird note here, as far as a creature actually feeding on the heart, as one of the stories I share in the book was I had a paranormal experience at one point where I actually woke up and saw something right there on my chest and felt the energy coming out. I know that sounds wild, but this is a wild book. But it's something I think it's going to be, at a minimum, entertaining. It's going to wow you, and it will hopefully shift your perspective. And the last thing I'll say about that with parasites is thinking back to germs. Years ago, before the invention of the microscope, had somebody said to you, there are these microscopic organisms that can influence and impact and degrade human health, but you can't see them, nobody would have believed you. And then once that microscope was invented and they said, oh my gosh, there's microorganisms in there, and oh my goodness, they have an impact on human health, well, now we've got something. We don't quite yet have an energy parasite microscope. That doesn't mean they don't exist. It's something worth paying attention to, my friends. And I hope you check it out, and I hope you can appreciate the artwork, the beautiful cover that Aimee did for me. I'll have more to come on this, and again, I'm looking to release this in the very near future this summer. I'm thinking sometime in July. I'll have a date real soon for you. I'm Dennis Nappy II with Sixth Sense Media. Thanks for watching, and let your intuition be your guide. Thanks so much.